Give yourself whatever license you need to accomplish your goals. When you overthink, you are in your ego. And you open yourself up to be sabotaged by your ego, which wants you to overthink. When you tap into your instincts, you're tapping into source. Now, sometimes your instincts can betray you, but that's only because it's being influenced by trauma, by your ego, by your old frequency. Once you clear your ego and you prove it wrong enough times, then instincts become beneficial. It's when instincts are influenced by trauma and an old frequency that they can hurt you. So, for example, someone who ends up in prison might be run by their instincts, but really there's a lot of conditioning and trauma there, which causes them to believe they're running on instincts, but really they're just doing something out of conditioning. True instincts come from source, and they motivate people to practice win-win situations rather than win-loses. If you're practicing a win-lose situation, if you're trying to get over on people, that's not true source. That's not true instincts. True instincts come from our tribal heritage, and they're not this Luciferian capitalistic mindset where you're trying to profit off other people and win at all costs. They're not this Machiavellian mindset. That is a Luciferian thing that was born out of the last few thousand years when humans had to be more cutthroat. But our true source, our true animal, God-given instincts are win-win for the entire tribe. And in this modern age, we can consider the tribe not just your friends and family in real life, but the internet. So if you're trying to make a living for yourself and not just work a 9-to-5, the tribe could be the internet. And so always be of value, always be an asset, always be win-win. You know, it doesn't mean sacrifice yourself. It doesn't mean don't have boundaries. It means think of the whole. Are you acting out of trauma? So what I mean by this is, say you want to, like this, post a YouTube video, but you're in a really bad mood, and you're in a bad mood because old stuff's coming up. Stuff you might have not addressed, your shadow, so to speak. Maybe it's something about society or some themes of the culture that are coming up that you're resentful about. Okay, well, when you post that video, are you going to rant? Are you going to let that shadow darken your message? Or are you going to realize not everyone's going through the same, not everyone's carrying the same baggage as you, and try to post something that is win-win for everyone? That is unjudgmental, that is unclouded by your own past, that is just pure value for other people that they can utilize for their lives wherever they are in their lives. That is the difference between acting from source, from instincts, true instincts, and the difference between thinking you're doing a world from the favor, but really you're selfishly just trying to broadcast your own trauma-based opinion. That's the difference. So, for example, I see a lot of these men complaining about women, a lot of these red pill videos. I see a lot of those as sort of trauma-based, ego-based content. And it doesn't mean the content and the information in it and the stuff they're talking about isn't true. But if you look at a lot of women's videos, they're saying the exact same things. Just replace the women with the men, and you would think women are red pill too. So it's the same thing. We're just projecting our own baggage on each other. We're literally just projecting our own baggage on each other. So I think the new improved human, the one that is going to take the new earth into the new earth, or that is going to take the present moment into the new earth, is the one that can just it doesn't mean you can't still be operating from that old frequency, from that trauma, because there's always going to be a little bit of that shadow there. It just means you have to have the wisdom and the willingness to set your ego aside when you're putting your value out into the world. Your value shouldn't be tainted by your prejudices, by your resentments. Your value should be pure and be able to be digested by anyone. Now, obviously, this is my own opinion, but going forward, I just feel lighter when I do that. When I realize anyone could be watching, and this has taken a lot of practice, I try to give info and advice that'll help the average person, regardless of their sex, gender, whatever. And this isn't trying to be a woke thing. This is simply just understanding that to be an asset in this day and age is to be unbiased, is to give the most digestible value I can to other people. Being unbiased, not picking a side in this very polarized society, is being like that Jim in the rough. And just makes me feel good. So this is just my suggestion for anyone these days, I guess. Energetically, we're entering a time when there is a definite split, and I don't really like to quote this because I don't even really know how scientifically or metaphysically how accurate it is. But when you're unbiased, when you give value without bringing your prejudices or trauma into it, you are essentially facilitating the new earth, the transition into 5D or whatever. Again, I don't like to use those words because I think it's an oversimplified way and an exaggerated way of saying what's going on. But yeah, I think that's the split. The split is the people who can build and help evolve society without letting their ego get in the way. And that's all I have to say for now. Cheers.